Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and I'm going to tell you about my first off-roading experience. So September 2020, I just recently bought a 2024 runner, and me and one of my best friends, Will, decided to take it out for a spin. So this is how it went. Learned a lot of lessons. That's me right there trying to figure out my life. Okay. So the trail we chose was a green trail. And it was actually supposed to be the easiest trail, but this being my first experience, that's me in the car right here, there's a lot more into off-roading than I thought. So initially I thought, this is something you can do by yourself, but it definitely is not. So if you've never been on the trail, make sure you do a lot of research before you go out. I think that did help us a lot, but also have a guide out there. Hand on the hip, confused. So we had a map, but I was trying to use our GPS as well to really see where we are for the terrain, because there were no guides on the trail to let us know whether or not we were staying on the green path or going on the yellow path or red path. And my rig was not set up to go anything more difficult than the green. So Will and I kind of figured out what we wanted to do here in terms of a plan to get through this more complex part. Vehicle started sliding and as you can see, I bottomed out right there a bit, but we had a pretty good plan together. It had rained, I guess, a couple of days prior, so the trail was still kind of muddy. So this is a cool first test, my first time out. It was really interesting, a little scary too, walking it and seeing what the plan was, but then not really being able to see what's underneath you because of the front of the vehicle. But this is a really cool part of the ride. We're trying to make sure we figured everything out.
Keep hugging it, because what's happening is your ass is back here about to trying to slide some. So just keep hugging it like you're doing. In fact, let me see. No, I think you can make it. Just stay. You got about that much more before you're rubbing on this.
So I have a standard 2020 TRD off-road, and so it came with some protection on the sides with the steps.
All right.
But what happened was my vehicle's not lifted at all. So, and the steps maybe go down about 2 to 3 inches. So we had to be careful here in this part of the trail not to get too deep in there to where I would either get stuck because I didn't have enough clearance, or tear up the bottom of the car because I don't have anything more than the standard.
This is the plan right here.
Skid plate protection that comes on the vehicle.
So as you're coming,
so Will's trying to walk me through here what we kind of planned through, but I guess because I can't really see. So it was really interesting trying to figure out a plan forward. And here he's telling me to turn, but I'm scared, so I'm not doing it enough. One thing I learned about the trail is you can't back out, right? So when we got out here and there were some parts that maybe were a little bit scary, or made us timid because it was our first to go out there. You really don't have a choice once you're out there, but I think that's the cool part about it, right? You have to meet the challenge and figure it out. So Will's really directing me here. Apologies for the video, but basically made it through. Tried to stay up on this lip here without sliding back in there, but made it through and was pretty proud of myself here. And for the real off-roaders, this may not seem like a big deal here, but for the first go around, I was pretty happy we made it out without tearing anything up, since I just bought it like 2 months before this.
God, I'm glad I guessed that. For real. Golly.
So the reason why I made the comment about the gas is because Will and I had figured, our first trip, it might be like an hour we'd spend out there, but that was way unrealistic. We were driving so slow, and then we had to step out and kind of look at the path ahead and figure out what was going on. Like I said, there was tons of rain out there and pools of water, so it definitely took us a lot longer than an hour, but it really was cool to look at the path and the trail and be out there. And I think, be on an easier trail that wasn't very dangerous, I guess, or a lot of risk, and figure it out. So it's another thing to look out for is timing. Make sure you plan accordingly. I didn't have any recovery gear or anything, so we kind of risked a lot, but it ended up pretty good overall.
That is funny. That man said, "No, I'm good." I don't blame you, bro. Why even risk it? Try to make it back to mama, as they say. Because you might get through it, but at what cost? Yeah. What's it gonna cost? Like Thanos, I don't want to be at the crib like, it cost I can't do like that. I can't do that. Shit. It costs everything.